30 working together to take down carjackers. D.C. Police is expanding its carjacking task force into Prince George's County. Mayor Bowser and Prince George's County Executive Angela Alsobrooks made the announcement today.
Yeah, the two police forces are going to work across border lines. D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti says he'll add detectives to that carjacking task force. And you know, the data shows the real problem here. Keep in mind, we're just a little more than a month into this year, and D.C. Police report they've arrested 19 people for carjacking. And get this, 14 of them under the age of 18. Our Megan Rivers is in the newsroom now with a closer look at how the agencies plan to crack down on this. Hey, Megan.
Good evening, Lorenzo. Well, take a look at the statistics that were revealed today, and it appears that the problem is only getting worse. Now, according to leaders of the 132 carjackings in D.C. in 2021, 85 of those who were arrested were under the age of 18. D.C. Police Chief Robert Conti said his officers will be moving to the borders to Prince George's County, saying that a number of carjackings that start in D.C. cross over into Prince George's County and vice versa. Both chiefs, Conti and Aziz of Prince George's County, say it's going to take more than officers to stop these kids from stealing cars.
One after another, carjackings keep happening, and authorities are saying it's kids who are taking these cars by force, and a number of them are just getting a slap on the wrist and then getting back out there and committing more carjackings.
Playtime is over. This cannot continue.
MPD Chief Robert Conti and Prince George's County Police Chief Aziz shared staggering statistics about a growing trend plaguing both jurisdictions, 2021 being one of the worst years in recent history. 132 carjackings in the district, 85 of those by someone under 18. Across the border, 152 jackings, 86 of them by a juvenile. Conti and Aziz both calling for accountability.
The accountability is only here. When we get true accountability, then our other partners that are in the system will be challenged for their action.
In Maryland, carjacking offenses for an adult is a felony, carrying up to 30 years if convicted. In D.C., it can carry a minimum of 7 years after legislation was passed in 1993 after a rise in carjackings then. But for juveniles, the sentence could be diverted to a youth program that doesn't necessarily involve any time behind bars.
Those changes came in the form of holding people accountable.
Sometimes you have to rehabilitate people on the inside until they show that they can live properly among us on the outside.
Their frustration vehemently echoed by County Executive Angela Alsobrooks.
This is increasing in a way that is alarming and should be very alarming.
Saying the ecosystem currently in place isn't working. D.C. Mayor Muriel Bowser said plainly, her office or any other office isn't placing blame on any one entity for the rise in carjackings, and asked everyone to pay attention to the laws already in place and the ones that could soon change.
But we're asking everybody to step up.
Well, both jurisdictions talked about the task forces that have been created to continue to combat the issue. They also spoke about how they're working on the legal logistics of being able to patrol both borders, so to speak. Lastly, they're asking other community and religious leaders to engage the youth in hopes of keeping them out of trouble. Lorenzo?
Yeah, Megan, they got to figure this out quickly, and it sounds like they want stricter laws in place against these kids too, yeah?
Yeah, that's kind of what they were talking about today. They mentioned how the crime or the offense necessarily doesn't match the punishment, so to speak. But again, they say they were not pointing blame, but they talked about how they're being held accountable, and they want other parts of this system to be held to the same accountability and the same standard that they're being held to.
Yeah, so essentially not just up to police. All right, Megan, thank you.